Well, um, here we are. Uh, 2,000 subs. I am stunned at how quickly this has taken place. I am stunned at a lot of things with this, actually. Um, I don't have some grand prepared speech or anything. My 1,000th, I was very surprised by. My 2,000, I am even more surprised by. Um, So even as my personal life continues to change, I very realistically could have to get a new vehicle or a new job. There's really no other option right now. The All Star game's on, and wow, it's just awful. It's I'm sorry. I know it's 3-on-3, and you're like, oh, they've changed the format. Oh, it's better. It's just awful. It's shinny. There's no hitting, and I don't expect it to have hitting. Horvat scores a nice goal. I don't care. I don't. It's not hockey. It's not. It's. Uh, I mean, I'm happy for Horvat. This is a coming out party for him, and I've said all year that I like Horvat's game, and hearing Jim Houston say, this kid's developing into a first line center, comparing him to Joe Pavelski, and I think that's fair. I've never made that comparison that I know of on my channel, because immediately I would figure I would get shut down for making such a wacky comparison, but he is that good. So it's nice to see that he's getting recognized. I never gave up on him last year when he had his horrible first half of the season. I never once said, "Oh, they should get rid of that Horvat." And here we are. So I'm wearing Leafs because this is the #1 fan base for my channel. I acknowledge that. Oilers fans are probably #2. I think Montreal fans, Vancouver fans, Calgary fans, they're all out there. And then there's the American viewers as well. Some interesting things I've found out. American fans watch the ads far more than the Canadians do. I mean, in terms of my revenues, they're a lot closer to being even between the U.S. and Canada than they probably should be. So there's a lot of Canadians that skip ads. So don't buy all the hype about Canadians being nice and patient, wonderful people, because they're more likely to skip. Um, I've learned a lot over the last little while. I am going to continue to grow this channel as much as I can, because that's the dream. The dream is that, um, with my voice being out there and my opinions on hockey being where they are, that I can continue to reach a wider audience and interact with other hockey fans. It's been a very enriching experience from the beginning. Um, and it really has led me out of the most painful time of my life and towards a really fantastic time of my life. So I'm very excited about where I am right now. There's definitely some terrifying realities to the idea of trying to find a new job, and I have full benefits of the job I've had, and I have a decent wage where I've been. So the idea of changing jobs, it's not as easy as it sounds, but it's got to happen. Um, and this is before the promotion that, I mean, promotion's great, but you have to be able to get to work. If you can't get to work, what's the point of a promotion? Um, so there's that. But as I hit 2000, and it's on Chinese New Year, Happy Year of the Rooster, the fiery rooster apparently. I can't make this up, but I'm very very happy right now. Um, this is this is a good time, and I'm glad you guys have been along for the journey. I hope you enjoy the little thumbnail I created for this video. I made sure there was a little bit of sexy, a little bit of Boston, and a little bit of a player I don't necessarily like, but he is the best goal scorer I've ever seen. So he's in the thumbnail for this video. Um, and that's a thumbnail I made. I made that one. That's mine, and I will get back into doing those more regularly. I've had, and I want to address this now. I've had a lot of generous options or generous offers to help me with the channel and in terms of video editing or thumbnails or other things. And I appreciate that. I do. I don't uh, consider myself above any of that. I don't have a problem with any of that. In terms of channel growth, though, I have found that when I post, when I just do a Google search and I try to find, when I'm going to use an image, I try to make sure that if I can find a really old image, I'll use that one first. And if it's an image that's more recent, I try to make sure it's not on one of the bigger sites. I find that that garners me more views and more subscribers than do the custom thumbnails. I've just found that. I found that in terms of performance, the ones where I use a hockey picture get better performance. People are more likely to click on it randomly passing by than otherwise. So for a while there, I was looking at 72% subscribers viewing videos and 28% non-subscribers. As soon as I went back to using pictures, I found it dropped back to a 65-35. So that tells me there's more people clicking on videos when I don't have that custom thumbnail than when I do, which is weird. And I identify it as being weird because you'd think it'd be the other way around. Now, if you look at the Phil DeFranco show and the way he does his thumbnails, I'm not allowed to copy that because then I'd be stealing from him. But if there was a way to do something similar, and I even talked to Yvonne about it not too long ago, I want to come up with a template and then just be able to just paste a couple things in really quick and upload a video. That's where I'm headed with this. Because I don't want to keep using videos or photos I find in a Google search. I want to force myself to do more effort with that. So thank you for subscribing. If you're just browsing through, go ahead and hit subscribe. I try to talk about every team in the league. I have a Ducks hat here. I hate the Ducks. There's no team I hate more in the NHL than the Ducks, and yet I have their hat because I got it for $5, and because I just like hockey. So I discuss as many teams as I can, and I'm aware of requests. I had a request to do more talking on Buffalo, so I've been looking for a specific topic on Buffalo to get into where they're concerned. And I do have an idea for a video later on today to get into, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how I can get to work tomorrow because Yvonne called her mechanic. He's not getting back to her, so if the van's not gonna be fixed tomorrow, we got to figure this out. So, anyways, and in the meantime, I want to make sure I'm giving you guys content and keeping this going because it seems like when I do 2 to 3 videos a day, the channel performs really well. So I know you guys say, well, if you need to take a day or two off, great, fine. But then revenues just bottom out, and then it can sometimes take days to get it back up. So this is the days of ADD. It's the days of massive content all over the internet, and I'm trying to compete with things on the internet that I'd rather watch than me. So I try to make sure that I keep the content fresh, original, different, and that I talk about things that other channels aren't going to. So that's why I've got all these magazines. If you're just browsing through and you clicked on this video, I have hundreds of hockey magazines dating back to 1998. So I rifle through these regularly. I've got the Hockey Guide and Record Book. The current 2017 Guide and Record Book, at the time that I'm doing this video, is $25 on Canadian Amazon. So it's $10 off because the season's half over. The information in this book doesn't really become dated. And when you have the older ones, and I have one from, it's around here. Where is it? This one. Like, for instance, when you have the one from 97, 98, after a player retires, all they show you is their stat line. So games played, goals, assists, points. When you have this snapshot into the past, you are looking back, and I'll just open it to a random page here. You're looking back at their year-by-year totals, and it shows you who they were traded for and why. It shows you how many Stanley Cups they won. It shows you waivers. The new books now actually tell you whether or not they missed more than half of a season with an injury in any given season. It's fantastic. So that's where a lot of my information comes from. I know this is the information age with the internet, but I still think a lot of the stuff you find on paper you can't find online. So I try to investigate things online, use that, and use my own eyeballs with what I watch on TV, and it all hopefully comes out and makes sense to you people. Thank you for helping me reach 2,000. Thank you for your support and for viewing ads. And for people who have subscribed to me on Patreon, I have not forgot you. There are 5 patrons currently on Patreon. I'm absolutely thrilled with what that could mean. I mean, as I look further down the road, what the combination between YouTube and Patreon can mean, and looking further down the road. So when we get into what's your goal, my honest goal here. Sorry, I gotta move my leg, which means moving the computer. All right, foot cramp, foot cramp, foot cramp. 5,000 subs is the goal. At 5,000 subs, I can go to FameBit, and FameBit will just go, hey, you match this, you match that. But there are other companies as well. And at that point, with sponsorship deals, boys and girls, I don't have to work as much as I have to work now. So that's the eventual goal. But in the meantime, thank you for being there. Thank you for clicking on my content, for watching my videos, and for listening to my crazy, wacky, weird ideas, which sometimes work out and sometimes are bafflingly wrong. But I don't delete anything. I don't I don't lie about my past predictions, and I will readily apologize as I did to the Ottawa Senators last week. So thanks for watching. And if you're just browsing through, hit subscribe, because this channel is only going to get bigger. I'm not predicting Dangle-like proportions, but I'm not predicting not Dangle-like proportions, because Steve Dangle has his audience. He talks to Toronto Maple Leafs fans. He wears his Maple Leafs jersey. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I try to talk to all hockey fans. I try to take my heart and put it on the shelf for a while and just talk using my head and keep my emotions out of it. Some of my most popular videos, emotion has everything to do with how popular they've been, but I try not to take those shortcuts, because who I am as a hockey person, in terms of my analysis, I usually take the emotion out of it. So I could rant and rave and go crazy, but that's not me. It's just not me. And thank you for supporting me and helping me, as the growth has been very steady over the last couple months. It's been very encouraging. I've gained over 300 subscribers in the last 28 days, and I've done it through no advertising on any other channels, no video boosts, none of that stuff. I am going to start that now. Once Yvonne and I have got everything all figured out in our home, and we've started coming out ahead in our money, I'm going to start pumping some money in advertising my videos and advertising this channel on YouTube and on Facebook and elsewhere. So it's coming. And thank you for being a part of it. I will talk to you all again soon.